How to Control Your Mouth, Mind, Mood and Money is written and published by Audiobook Hub. Introduction. Are you tired of feeling like life is controlling you instead of the other way around? Do you catch yourself saying things you regret, letting your thoughts drain your energy, allowing emotions to take over, or watching money slip through your fingers? If you're ready to change that, this book is for you. In this book, you will learn how to take charge of your words, thoughts, emotions, and financial decisions. You will develop self-discipline, sharpen your focus, and create a mindset that helps you grow instead of keeping you stuck. No more reacting without thinking. No more feeling trapped by habits that don't serve you. No more struggling with money because of poor choices. By the end of this book, you will have the tools to stay calm under pressure, think clearly, speak with confidence, and build real wealth. You will become more in control of yourself, stronger in your decisions, and more intentional with your future. If you want to stop feeling frustrated, take action now. Your life will not change on its own. You have to take control. If you are ready, then let's dive in. Chapter 1. Control your words and stop speaking without thinking. Controlling your words is one of the most powerful things you can do in life. The way you speak determines how people see you, how they respect you, and even how much influence you have over yourself. Many people talk without thinking, saying things they regret, making promises they can't keep, or letting anger control their tongue. Words can shape your future or destroy your present. If you want to take control of your life, you must first take control of your mouth. The first thing you need to understand is that once words leave your mouth, they cannot be taken back. You can apologize, you can try to explain yourself, but the damage is already done. That's why thinking before speaking is not just important, it's essential. How many times have you said something in the heat of the moment and later wished you hadn't? How many times have you let frustration, anger, or impatience make you say things that created distance between you and the people you care about? If you want to be someone people respect and trust, you must develop the ability to control what you say and when you say it. To gain control over your words, the first step is to slow down. Most people speak too fast, reacting instead of responding. Reacting is impulsive. It's when you let emotions take over and speak without considering the impact of your words. Responding, on the other hand, is intentional. It means you think first, evaluate the situation, and then choose your words wisely. Slowing down your speech gives your brain time to process what's happening. It allows you to ask yourself, is what I'm about to say necessary? Is it helpful? Will it solve a problem or create one? If the words do not serve a positive purpose, then they do not need to be spoken. Another way to take control of your speech is to recognize your emotional triggers. Everyone has things that set them off, certain topics, certain tones of voice, or certain people. When you are aware of what pushes your buttons, you can prepare yourself to respond in a controlled and intelligent manner. Instead of falling into the habit of reacting emotionally, you can decide to remain calm, choose your words carefully, and handle the situation in a way that strengthens you instead of weakening you. Emotional self-awareness is a skill that requires practice, but the more you develop it, the more power you have over your own life. Silence is also one of the most underused but most powerful tools when it comes to controlling your words. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every argument needs your participation. Many times, the strongest response is no response at all. Silence can protect you from saying things you don't mean. It can keep you from escalating conflicts. It can show confidence and discipline. Sometimes, people speak just to fill the silence because they feel uncomfortable, but this leads to speaking without purpose. When you learn to be comfortable with silence, you gain a higher level of self-control. You don't speak just to be heard, you speak to be understood. Your words also have the power to shape your own mindset. If you constantly speak negatively, you create a negative mental environment for yourself. If you always talk about what's wrong, what's unfair, or what's impossible, you train your brain to focus on problems instead of solutions. On the other hand, when you choose words that encourage, strengthen and uplift, you set the foundation for success. Speaking positively does not mean ignoring reality. It means choosing to focus on what you can control and what you can improve. The words you use to describe your situation shape your perspective. If you call something an opportunity instead of a problem, your mind will start looking for ways to take advantage of it. If you speak about yourself as capable, strong and disciplined, you will begin to act accordingly. One of the most destructive habits is complaining. Complaining does not solve problems. It does not change anything except your own mood and the mood of those around you. When you complain, you reinforce the idea that you are powerless, that life is unfair, and that there's nothing you can do to improve your situation. But the truth is, you are not powerless. You always have choices. Instead of complaining, focus on solutions. Speak in a way that reflects a mindset of action, responsibility, and growth. If something is wrong, ask yourself, what can I do about it? If you can't change it, then don't waste time talking about it. Move on. Another key to controlling your words is to make sure they align with your values and principles. People respect those who are consistent in what they say and do. If your words are careless, dishonest, or manipulative, people will stop trusting you. If you make promises and don't keep them, your words lose power. But when you speak with honesty and integrity, people know they can count on you. Your words become valuable. They hold weight. Speak with the intention of building trust, not just getting a temporary advantage. Mean what you say, and say what you mean. It's also important to be mindful of how you speak to yourself. Your inner dialogue is just as important as the words you say to others. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that you're a failure, you are programming your mind for defeat. The way you talk to yourself determines the way you see yourself. If you want to become stronger, speak to yourself with strength. If you want to be more disciplined, tell yourself that you are capable of discipline. The words you feed your mind shape your identity. Sometimes, people use words as weapons, not realizing that words can cut deeper than any physical wound. Insults, harsh criticism, and negative remarks can leave a lasting impact on someone's confidence and self-worth. If you have ever been on the receiving end of cruel words, you know how much they can hurt. That's why it's important to be conscious of how your words affect others. Choose to speak in a way that uplifts instead of tears down. It does not mean avoiding honesty. Sometimes the truth is necessary, even when it's uncomfortable, but it does mean delivering truth in a way that is constructive instead of destructive. Mastering control over your words is not something that happens overnight. It requires constant self-awareness and discipline. There will be times when you slip, when you say something you regret, when you let emotions take over. The key is to recognize those moments, learn from them, and get better. Every day is an opportunity to strengthen your ability to think before you speak, to choose words that align with your goals, and to communicate in a way that commands respect. Think about the kind of person you want to be. Do you want to be someone people admire? Someone people trust? Someone who speaks with wisdom, confidence, and purpose? If the answer is yes, then you must take control of your words. Every word you speak is a reflection of who you are. Make them count. Chapter 2. Train your mind to focus on what truly matters. Your mind is the command center of your life. The way you think shapes your choices, your habits, and your future. If your mind is scattered, easily distracted, or focused on the wrong things, your life will reflect that. But if you train your mind to focus on what truly matters, you gain control over your thoughts, your time, and your direction. This is not about temporary motivation. It's about building a mental foundation that keeps you locked in on the things that move you forward. The first step in training your mind is to become aware of what is stealing your focus. Most people go through life reacting to whatever demands their attention instead of consciously deciding what deserves their energy. Distractions are everywhere: social media, negative people, unnecessary drama, meaningless entertainment. If you don't take control, these things will take control of you. You must develop the ability to filter out what is irrelevant and focus only on what adds real value to your life. Ask yourself, is this helping me grow? Is this leading me closer to my goals? Does this deserve my time and energy? If the answer is no, then it's a distraction, and distractions must be eliminated. This is not always easy because distractions often feel comfortable. Scrolling through endless posts, engaging in pointless arguments, or wasting time on things that don't matter may seem harmless. But over time, they steal your potential. The second step is to take charge of your thoughts. Your mind is constantly processing information, but not all of it is useful. Many people allow their thoughts to be controlled by fear, doubt, or the opinions of others. They overthink, they worry, they focus on the worst possible outcomes. This type of thinking drains energy and creates unnecessary stress. If you want to be productive and focused, you must train your mind to reject negative, unhelpful thoughts and replace them with thoughts that push you forward. This requires discipline. The moment you catch yourself thinking about something that doesn't serve you, stop, shift your focus to something productive. Instead of worrying about things you can't control, focus on what you can improve. Instead of replaying past mistakes, focus on what you can learn from them. Instead of feeding self-doubt, remind yourself of what you are capable of achieving. Another essential step in training your mind is learning to protect your mental space. Just like a healthy body requires the right food, a strong mind requires the right input. If you constantly expose yourself to negativity, gossip, or useless information, your thoughts will reflect that. Surround yourself with ideas, knowledge, and influences that strengthen you. Read books that expand your mind. Listen to people who inspire and challenge you. Limit your exposure to things that bring no value. Many people allow their minds to be shaped by their environment, instead of shaping their environment to support their growth. If you are serious about focusing on what truly matters, you must be intentional about the information you consume, the conversations you engage in, and the people you allow into your life. One of the most effective ways to sharpen your focus is to set clear priorities. If you don't know what matters most, it's easy to waste time on what doesn't. Define what is most important in your life. Is it personal growth, building a career, strengthening relationships, developing discipline? Whatever it is, make it clear in your mind. Once you know your priorities, every decision should align with them. If something does not contribute to your main priorities, it's not worth your time. This is where many people fail. They say they want success, but they spend their time on things that have nothing to do with success. They say they want growth, but they don't invest in learning or improving themselves. They say they want focus, but they let every little distraction pull them away from their goals. If you want to train your mind to focus, your daily actions must reflect your priorities. Another powerful technique for sharpening your focus is practicing deep concentration. Most people operate in a state of shallow focus, constantly jumping from one thing to another, never giving full attention to anything. This weakens the mind. If you want to strengthen your ability to focus, train yourself to work in deep, uninterrupted sessions. Choose one important task, eliminate all distractions, and commit to working on it with complete focus. This is difficult at first because the modern world has trained people to expect constant stimulation. But the more you practice, the stronger your ability to focus becomes. Deep concentration allows you to get more done in less time and at a higher quality. It separates those who accomplish great things from those who stay stuck in mediocrity. In addition to training your mind to focus on the right things, you must also train it to let go of the wrong things. Many people waste mental energy on things that do not matter: resentment, regret, comparison, worry. These thoughts serve no purpose except to hold you back. If something is not helping you, it is hurting you. If a thought does not add value to your life, remove it. This requires mental discipline. You must make a conscious decision to let go of anything that drains your energy or distracts you from your purpose. Stop wasting time thinking about what other people think of you. Stop revisiting old failures. Stop worrying about things that are out of your control. Redirect your focus to what you can build, what you can improve, and what you can achieve. A strong mind is built through repetition. Just like training the body requires consistent effort, training the mind requires daily practice. The more you train your focus, the sharper it becomes. The more you control your thoughts, the stronger your mindset grows. It is a lifelong process, but every day that you choose to focus on what truly matters, you take one step closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. Your time, your energy, and your mental strength are limited. Do not waste them on things that do not matter. Train your mind, take control of your focus, and direct all your power toward what move your life forward. Chapter 3. Master your emotions and stop letting them control you. Emotions can either be your greatest strength or your biggest weakness. They can push you forward or pull you down. The difference is whether you control them or they control you. Many people go through life being led by emotions instead of mastering them. They allow anger, fear, frustration, or sadness to dictate their decisions. But if you want to build a strong and unshakable life, you must take control of your emotions and not let them take control of you. The first step in mastering emotions is understanding them. Emotions are signals. They tell you something about what's happening inside you. They are not random, and they are not the enemy. But they must be managed correctly. Feeling angry doesn't mean you should lash out. Feeling sad doesn't mean you should give up. Feeling frustrated doesn't mean you should quit. Just because an emotion is real does not mean it should control your actions. One of the biggest mistakes people make is acting on emotions without thinking. They let emotions dictate their words, their reactions, and their choices. This leads to regret, mistakes, and unnecessary conflict. If you want to master your emotions, you must develop the ability to pause. When an emotion rises, do not immediately react. Take a moment to process it. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What is this emotion trying to tell me? What is the best way to respond? This small pause can make the difference between saying something you regret or handling a situation with intelligence. It can prevent you from making emotional decisions that you later wish you hadn't. The ability to pause before reacting is one of the strongest skills you can develop. It separates people who are controlled by emotions from those who control their emotions. Another key to mastering emotions is recognizing patterns. Everyone has emotional triggers, specific situations, or people that cause strong reactions. Maybe certain words make you feel defensive. Maybe certain environments make you feel anxious. Maybe certain conversations bring out frustration. The more aware you are of your triggers, the more control you have. Instead of letting them catch you off guard, you can prepare yourself. You can decide in advance how you will respond. Preparation gives you power. If you know you're entering a situation that usually makes you angry, you can remind yourself to stay calm. If you know you're about to have a conversation that normally frustrates you, you can set the intention to listen instead of reacting. The more you anticipate your emotional reactions, the better you can manage them. Emotional strength also comes from learning how to detach. Detachment does not mean ignoring emotions. It means not letting them take over. Many people attach too much of their identity to how they feel in the moment. If they feel discouraged, they assume they are failing. If they feel rejected, they assume they are not good enough. But emotions are temporary. They change. They pass. Just because you feel something now does not mean it will be your reality forever. You must train yourself to see emotions as passing waves, not permanent truths. When you feel overwhelmed, remind yourself, this feeling will not last. I am in control. When you feel discouraged, tell yourself, this is a moment, not my future. By creating this separation between yourself and your emotions, you gain control over them instead of being controlled by them. Another powerful technique for emotional mastery is shifting focus. Emotions are fueled by where you put your attention. If you dwell on what's wrong, your emotions will reflect that. If you focus on solutions, your emotions will shift. If you feed anger, it grows. If you feed doubt, it takes over. But if you shift your focus towards solutions, progress, and growth, your emotional state follows. This is why it is important to manage what you think about. Your emotions follow your thoughts. If you keep replaying negative situations, your emotions will stay negative. If you keep feeding yourself reasons to be upset, you will remain upset. But if you consciously decide to focus on what you can control, your emotions will stabilize. A major part of mastering emotions is taking responsibility for them. Many people blame others for how they feel. They say, that person made me mad, or that situation ruined my day. But the truth is, no one can control your emotions except you. Yes, people can do things that trigger emotions in you. Yes, situations can be frustrating or disappointing. But ultimately, how you handle your emotions is your responsibility. Blaming others for your emotions gives away your power. It puts you in a position where you feel like a victim of circumstances. But when you take ownership of your emotional responses, you gain control. You stop reacting out of habit and start responding with intention. Developing emotional discipline requires practice. You will not master it in a day. There will be moments when emotions get the best of you. But the goal is progress, not perfection. Every time you choose to stay calm instead of reacting, you build emotional strength. Every time you refuse to let fear dictate your choices, you gain confidence. Every time you shift your focus from problems to solutions, you take control. Over time, these small victories add up. You begin to notice that things that once triggered you no longer affect you as much. You realize that you can handle stress, frustration, and disappointment without being controlled by them. You develop the ability to stay steady, even in difficult situations. A strong mind and a strong emotional state go hand in hand. The more you master your emotions, the more control you have over your life. Instead of being pulled in different directions by every feeling, you stand firm. Instead of letting emotions dictate your actions, you make choices based on wisdom and clarity. This is what emotional mastery is about, not ignoring emotions, not suppressing them, but managing them in a way that strengthens you. It is about staying calm when others lose control. It is about thinking before speaking. It is about choosing responses that move you forward instead of holding you back. Your emotions are powerful, but they should never have more power than you. Take control, build discipline, and refuse to let temporary feelings dictate your future. Chapter 4. Take full responsibility for how you react to life. Life will challenge you. Unexpected events will happen. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Obstacles will appear. That is reality. But none of these things have the power to control your future unless you allow them to. The way you react to life determines everything. Some people spend their entire existence blaming circumstances, making excuses, and waiting for things to change. Others take full responsibility, control their responses, and shape their own path. The choice is yours. The first step in taking responsibility is accepting that you cannot control everything that happens, but you can always control how you respond. No matter what life throws at you, your reaction is within your power. You can either react with frustration, anger, and self-pity, or you can respond with strength, focus, and determination. One leads to progress, the other leads to stagnation. Many people fall into the trap of blaming external factors for their struggles. They say, if only my situation were different, I would be successful. If only people treated me better, I would be happy. If only I had more support, I could achieve more. But these thoughts accomplish nothing. They only reinforce a mindset of helplessness. When you blame outside forces for your emotions, your failures, or your lack of progress, you give away your power. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to fix everything for you. No one is responsible for your growth, your happiness, or your success except you. The sooner you accept this, the stronger you become. People who take full responsibility for their lives stop waiting for circumstances to change. They stop expecting others to make things easier. Instead, they take action. They adjust. They find a way forward no matter what. This does not mean ignoring reality. Challenges exist. Unfair situations happen. Life is not always smooth. But the question is not whether life is fair. The question is what you will do about it. Some people face hardship and use it as fuel to become stronger. Others use it as an excuse to stay where they are. The difference is mindset. Your reactions to problems shape your future. When something doesn't go as planned, do you give up or adapt? When someone criticizes you, do you take offense or learn from it? When things get difficult, do you complain or find solutions? Every reaction builds habits, and those habits determine the direction of your life. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is to stop saying, "Why is this happening to me?" and start saying, "What can I do about this?" The first mindset focuses on problems. The second focuses on solutions. The first creates helplessness. The second builds strength. The way you frame situations in your mind directly affects how you handle them. If you see a setback as a sign that you are failing, you will feel defeated. But if you see it as a lesson, you will grow from it. If you see criticism as a personal attack, you will become defensive. But if you see it as useful feedback, you will improve. Your perspective controls your reactions, and your reactions control your future. Another critical part of taking responsibility is managing your emotions. Emotions are natural, but they must be controlled. When things go wrong, it is easy to react emotionally, to get angry, to feel sorry for yourself, to let frustration take over. But these reactions do not help. They waste energy and create more problems. Strong people do not let emotions dictate their choices. They feel emotions, but they do not let those emotions control them. They take a step back, assess the situation logically, and decide on the best response. They do not waste time complaining about what they cannot change. Instead, they put their energy into what they can do. One of the biggest indicators of personal responsibility is how you handle failure. Some people make excuses, shift blame, or avoid accountability. Others analyze their mistakes, learn from them, and make improvements. The first group stays stuck. The second group keeps moving forward. Failure is not the problem. Your reaction to failure is what matters. People who take full responsibility do not waste time arguing with reality. They do not waste energy being bitter about what should have happened. They accept things as they are and take control of what happens next. This mindset eliminates unnecessary stress. Instead of feeling powerless, you realize that you always have options. You may not control the past, but you control the next step you take. Taking responsibility also means refusing to be a victim. Many people go through life acting as if they have no control. They blame their upbringing, their past experiences, or other people for where they are today. But no matter what has happened before, you are responsible for what happens next. The moment you stop making excuses and start taking ownership of your reactions, everything changes. You stop focusing on what others have done to you and start focusing on what you can do for yourself. You stop waiting for better circumstances and start creating better circumstances. You stop letting emotions drive you and start making clear, intentional decisions. This level of responsibility is not easy. It requires discipline. It requires mental strength. It requires looking in the mirror and admitting that if you are not where you want to be, it is up to you to change that. But the reward is freedom. When you take full responsibility for your reactions, you gain complete control over your future. No more waiting, no more blaming, no more excuses. The way you react to life determines everything. Make the choice to take responsibility and move forward with strength. Chapter 5. Stop wasting money and start building real wealth. Money is one of the most powerful tools you will ever have. It can open doors, create opportunities, and give you freedom. But most people don't treat it that way. Instead of using money wisely, they waste it on things that don't matter. Instead of building wealth, they drain their bank accounts on impulse purchases, temporary pleasures, and unnecessary expenses. If you want to take control of your future, you must stop wasting money and start using it to create real financial security. The first step is awareness. Most people don't even realize how much money they waste. They spend without thinking, buying things they don't need, eating out constantly, upgrading their lifestyle without questioning whether it makes sense. They justify small expenses, telling themselves, it's just a few dollars. But those small amounts add up. A coffee here, a fast food meal there, a random subscription they don't even use. It all eats away at their financial future. You must be honest with yourself about where your money is going. Track every dollar. Look at your spending habits and ask yourself, is this bringing me closer to financial freedom, or is it keeping me stuck? If your money is not working for you, then it's working against you. Most financial problems are not caused by a lack of income, but by a lack of discipline. Some people make 6 figures and still live paycheck to paycheck because they don't control their spending. They upgrade their cars, their homes, and their lifestyles as soon as they earn more. The more money they make, the more they waste. Instead of building wealth, they keep increasing their expenses. This is why financial success is not about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep. Even if you're making a modest income, you can still build wealth if you manage it properly. On the other hand, if you don't control your spending, no amount of income will ever be enough. The key is to live below your means. This does not mean living in poverty or depriving yourself of everything. It means being intentional with your money. It means making sure that your spending aligns with your long-term goals. It means prioritizing financial security over short-term pleasure. One of the biggest traps people fall into is emotional spending. They buy things to feel better. They shop when they're bored, stressed, or unhappy. They convince themselves that a new purchase will make them feel fulfilled. But the satisfaction never lasts. The excitement of buying something new fades quickly, and they're left with less money and the same problems they had before. You must break this cycle. Stop using money as a temporary fix for emotional struggles. Find healthier ways to handle stress and boredom. Before making a purchase, ask yourself, do I actually need this, or am I just trying to fill an emotional gap? If you wouldn't buy it with cash on hand, you shouldn't buy it with a credit card. Speaking of credit, debt is one of the fastest ways to destroy financial stability. Many people live in a constant cycle of borrowing and repaying, never getting ahead because they keep adding new debt. They justify financing everything: cars, furniture, vacations, gadgets, without realizing that debt is stealing from their future. The longer you stay in debt, the more you pay in interest, and the less freedom you have. If you want to build real wealth, you must get out of the habit of relying on credit. Avoid unnecessary loans. Pay off high-interest debt as quickly as possible. Stop financing things you don't actually need. The goal is to own your money, not owe it to someone else. Another mistake people make is ignoring the power of saving. Many people tell themselves they will save when they make more money, but that day never comes. The habit of saving is more important than the amount. Even if you can only save a small percentage of your income, start now. The earlier you build the habit, the easier it becomes to grow your wealth. Saving money is not about hoarding, it's about preparing. Emergencies happen. Unexpected expenses will come up. Without savings, even a minor setback can throw your entire life into chaos. But with a financial cushion, you have security. You have peace of mind. You have options. Beyond saving, real financial success comes from investing. Keeping money in a bank account is not enough. Inflation decreases the value of cash over time. If you want your money to grow, you must put it to work. Investing in assets, stocks, real estate, businesses allows your money to multiply instead of just sitting there. Many people avoid investing because they don't understand it. But not knowing is not an excuse. Educate yourself. Learn how money works. Study how wealth is built. The difference between those who struggle financially and those who succeed is knowledge. The more you understand money, the better decisions you can make. Another crucial factor in financial success is avoiding lifestyle inflation. Just because you earn more doesn't mean you should spend more. Many people increase their expenses every time their income rises, never allowing themselves to get ahead. They buy bigger houses, newer cars, and more expensive things thinking they are progressing. But in reality, they are just maintaining the same financial struggles at a higher level. The key is to keep your expenses as low as possible while increasing your income. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is where financial freedom is built. The bigger that gap, the more you can save, invest, and create lasting wealth. Wealth is not about showing off. It's not about having the latest gadgets, the biggest house, or the most luxurious vacations. True wealth is freedom. It's the ability to make choices without being controlled by financial stress. It's knowing that you are secure, no matter what happens. It's having the power to walk away from situations that don't serve you because you are not desperate for money. Many people think being wealthy means making millions. But wealth is not just about a number, it's about control. There are people who earn modest incomes but live financially free because they manage their money well. And there are high earners drowning in debt because they never learned financial discipline. If you want to build real wealth, stop chasing status and start focusing on financial security. Stop spending money to impress others. Stop wasting money on things that lose value the moment you buy them. Start thinking long-term. Every dollar you spend today is a dollar that could have been invested in your future. Your financial situation is a reflection of your habits. If you spend without thinking, your bank account will always be empty. If you prioritize instant gratification over long-term security, you will always struggle. But if you take control, if you make disciplined financial choices, you will build a foundation that gives you freedom and power. Building wealth is not complicated, but it does require discipline. Spend less than you earn. Avoid debt. Save consistently. Invest wisely. Make your money work for you instead of just working for money. These are simple principles, but few people follow them. Those who do are the ones who create real financial success. It's time to stop wasting money and start building something real. Your future depends on the decisions you make today. Take control, be intentional, and create a financial future that gives you true freedom. Chapter 6. Speak with confidence and stop doubting your own voice. Your voice matters. What you say, how you say it, and the confidence behind your words determine how people perceive you and how you perceive yourself. If you constantly second-guess what you say, if you hold back because you fear judgment, if you let self-doubt silence you, you are not just losing opportunities, you are weakening your own belief in yourself. You must learn to speak with confidence and trust in your own voice. Confidence in speech does not come from being perfect. It does not come from always having the right words or never making mistakes. It comes from certainty. Certainty in your message, certainty in your right to express yourself, certainty that your words have value. If you hesitate every time you speak, if you water down your words to avoid conflict, if you shrink back because you assume others know better than you are training yourself to be small. You are reinforcing the idea that your voice is not strong enough to be heard. You must break that habit. Speaking with confidence starts with trusting yourself. It starts with eliminating the voice in your head that tells you to hold back. That voice is not your friend. It is fear disguising itself as caution. It is insecurity pretending to be wisdom. When you let that voice dictate your speech, you give it control over your life. Many people hesitate to speak up because they fear what others will think. They worry about sounding uneducated, about being wrong, about being judged. But confidence is not about knowing everything. It is about owning what you do know. It is about speaking with conviction, even when you don't have all the answers. People respect certainty more than perfection. They listen to those who speak as if they believe in their own words. If you find yourself doubting what you say, ask yourself why. Have you convinced yourself that others are smarter than you? Have you allowed past mistakes to make you hesitant? Have you spent too much time trying to be liked rather than focusing on being clear? Confidence in speech is not about arrogance. It is about being direct, sure and unapologetic in how you express yourself. One of the quickest ways to develop confidence in your speech is to slow down. People who lack confidence tend to rush their words, as if they want to finish speaking before anyone can judge them. This makes them sound unsure. Confident speakers take their time. They do not rush through sentences. They pause when necessary. They allow their words to land. They understand that silence between sentences does not weaken their message, it strengthens it. Another key factor in speaking with confidence is eliminating weak language. Words like "I think," "maybe," "I guess," or "I'm not sure" weaken your message. They make you sound uncertain, even when you know exactly what you are saying. Instead of saying, "I think this might be a good idea," say, "This is a strong idea, and here's why." Instead of saying, "I guess I could do that," say, "I can do that." Small changes in phrasing make a huge difference in how you are perceived. Your body language also plays a major role in how confident you sound. If you speak with a slouched posture, if you avoid eye contact, if your voice is shaky, your words will carry less weight. Stand tall, keep your shoulders back. Maintain eye contact. Project your voice. When you align your physical presence with your words, people take you seriously. Many people assume confidence is something you are born with. That is not true. Confidence is developed. It is practiced. The more you speak with certainty, the easier it becomes. If you want to build confidence in your voice, you must start using it, even when it feels uncomfortable. You must push yourself to speak up in situations where you would normally stay silent. Every time you choose to express yourself instead of holding back, you strengthen your belief in your own voice. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. If you are constantly questioning whether you should speak up, you are letting fear dictate your life. Your voice is just as important as anyone else's. Your opinions, your ideas, your thoughts, they matter. But they will only matter to others if they matter to you first. If you don't respect your own words, no one else will. Speaking with confidence does not mean being loud or aggressive. It means being clear. It means speaking in a way that makes people listen. It means not backing down just because someone disagrees with you. Confident people do not feel the need to prove themselves with volume. They do not talk over others. They do not dominate conversations just to be heard. They make their points directly, and they trust that their words are enough. If you want to stop doubting your own voice, you must also stop comparing yourself to others. Many people hesitate to speak because they assume someone else will say it better. They believe others are more articulate, more knowledgeable, more experienced. But confidence does not come from being the best speaker in the room. It comes from knowing that your perspective has value. If you are always waiting for the right time to speak, you will always be waiting. A strong voice is built through repetition. The more you practice speaking with confidence, the more natural it becomes. If you struggle with self-doubt, challenge yourself to speak up more often, in meetings, in conversations, in situations where you might usually stay silent. Push yourself to say what is on your mind. Each time you do, you weaken the doubt that has held you back. The words you say to yourself matter just as much as the words you say to others. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good at speaking," or "no one cares what I have to say," you are reinforcing a negative belief that will keep you stuck. Instead, tell yourself, "My voice is strong. I have important things to say. People respect my words." This is not just positive thinking. It is training your mind to believe in your own voice. Doubt will always try to creep in. It will try to convince you to stay quiet, to avoid attention, to second-guess yourself. But every time you choose to speak with confidence, you weaken that doubt. You prove to yourself that you are capable. You remind yourself that your voice is worth hearing. Speak with certainty. Trust your words. Stop questioning whether you should express yourself and start doing it. The more you speak with confidence, the more powerful your voice will become. Chapter 7. Protect your mind from negativity and toxic influences. Your mind is the control center of your life. Everything you think, believe, and focus on shapes the reality you experience. If your mind is filled with negativity, doubt, and toxic influences, it will weaken your confidence, drain your motivation, and keep you stuck in the same patterns. But if you protect your mind, if you guard it like the valuable asset it is, you will gain the clarity, strength, and resilience needed to create a better future. Negativity is everywhere. It comes from people, from the media, from past experiences, and even from your own inner thoughts. If you are not careful, it will take root in your mind, shaping your perspective and influencing every decision you make. One of the first steps in protecting your mind is recognizing where the negativity in your life is coming from. Start by looking at the people around you. Are they encouraging, supportive, and growth-oriented? Or are they constantly complaining, doubting, and dragging you down? The people you spend time with have a massive influence on your mindset. If you are surrounded by negativity, it will slowly infect your thinking, no matter how strong you believe you are. Toxic influences don't always come in the form of obvious negativity. Sometimes they come disguised as concern. People will say they are just being realistic when they tell you why your goals won't work. They will act like they are helping when they tell you to lower your expectations. But their words plant seeds of doubt. Over time, those doubts grow, making you question yourself, your abilities, and your potential. If you want to protect your mind, you must learn to set boundaries. Distance yourself from people who constantly feed you negativity. Limit your exposure to those who drain your energy. This does not mean cutting everyone out of your life, but it does mean being mindful of who gets access to your thoughts and emotions. Another major source of negativity is the information you consume. Social media, news, entertainment, all of it shapes your mindset in ways you might not even realize. If you are constantly exposed to bad news, toxic debates, and endless distractions, your mind will be filled with stress, anxiety, and pessimism. You must be intentional about what you allow into your mental space. Stop mindlessly scrolling through content that adds no value to your life. Unfollow pages and people that spread negativity. Limit how much time you spend consuming news that only highlights problems without offering solutions. Instead, fill your mind with knowledge, inspiration, and ideas that empower you. Read books that challenge your thinking. Listen to speakers who uplift and motivate you. Surround yourself with messages that remind you of your potential. Your own thoughts can be one of the biggest sources of negativity. The way you speak to yourself matters. If your inner voice is constantly critical, telling you that you are not good enough, that you will fail, that you don't have what it takes, then no amount of external motivation will help. You must change the way you think about yourself. Start by becoming aware of your thoughts. Pay attention to the negative patterns that play on repeat in your mind. Are you always expecting the worst? Are you constantly replaying past mistakes? Do you talk yourself out of opportunities before you even try? Once you recognize these patterns, you can begin to break them. One of the best ways to protect your mind from negativity is to replace it with something stronger. Instead of focusing on your weaknesses, focus on your strengths. Instead of dwelling on what could go wrong, train yourself to see possibilities. Instead of feeding doubt, feed belief. This does not mean ignoring reality. It means taking control of the way you respond to it. Gratitude is a powerful tool for shifting your mindset. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you change your perspective. Instead of constantly looking for problems, you start seeing opportunities. Instead of being consumed by stress, you develop resilience. Gratitude strengthens your mind against negativity by reminding you of the progress you have already made. Your environment also plays a huge role in shaping your mindset. If your surroundings are chaotic, cluttered, or filled with distractions, your mind will reflect that. Create a space that supports mental clarity. Organize your surroundings. Remove anything that adds stress or discouragement. Build an environment that helps you stay focused, motivated, and at peace. Another important factor in protecting your mind is managing stress. When you are overwhelmed, negativity becomes harder to resist. Stress weakens your ability to think clearly, making you more vulnerable to doubt and fear. Find healthy ways to manage stress: exercise, meditation, journaling, or simply taking time for yourself. The more control you have over your stress levels, the stronger your mind will be. Many people allow negativity to control them because they believe they have no choice. They assume that their thoughts, emotions, and external influences are out of their control. But this is not true. You have the power to decide what you allow into your mind. You have the ability to shift your focus, to filter what you consume, to choose who you surround yourself with. Protecting your mind is not about ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. It is about training yourself to focus on what empowers you instead of what weakens you. It is about strengthening your mental foundation so that negativity does not have the power to break you. Every time you allow negativity into your mind, you are giving it space to grow. But every time you reject it, every time you replace it with something stronger, you are taking control of your life. The quality of your thoughts will determine the quality of your future. Guard them. Strengthen them. Make sure they are serving you, not holding you back. Chapter 8. Strengthen your discipline and stop giving in to weakness. Discipline is the foundation of every success. Without it, talent goes to waste, goals remain out of reach, and potential stays locked away. If you lack discipline, you will always find yourself making excuses, procrastinating, and giving in to distractions. But when you strengthen your discipline, you take full control of your life. You stop waiting for motivation, and you start doing what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. Weakness is easy. It's easy to hit snooze. It's easy to skip workouts. It's easy to delay important work. But every time you choose the easy path, you make it harder for yourself in the future. The small decisions you make every day determine the life you build. Every time you give in to weakness, you reinforce a habit of quitting. Every time you choose discipline, you build a habit of strength. If you want to stop giving in to weakness, you must change the way you think about discipline. Many people see discipline as something painful, something that takes away freedom. But discipline does not restrict you. It liberates you. It gives you control over your time, your energy, and your future. It is the key to breaking free from bad habits, wasted potential, and unfulfilled goals. The first step in strengthening your discipline is to stop relying on motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you will feel like working hard, and some days you won't. If you only take action when you feel motivated, you will never be consistent. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It is choosing long-term success over short-term comfort. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with discipline is because they allow emotions to control their decisions. They wait until they feel like doing something. But discipline is not about feelings. It is about commitment. If you only work when it feels easy, you will never reach your full potential. You must learn to act, regardless of your mood. Start by setting clear, non-negotiable standards for yourself. Decide what you will do every single day, no matter what. This could be waking up at a certain time, completing a set amount of work, exercising daily, or sticking to a budget. These standards should not be dependent on how you feel. They should be fixed, unbreakable commitments. Next, remove temptations that make discipline harder. If you struggle with distractions, eliminate them. If social media keeps you from working, log out. If junk food keeps you from eating healthy, don't buy it. If certain people encourage bad habits, limit your time with them. Discipline is not just about forcing yourself to do the right thing. It's about making it easier to stay on track. Another powerful way to strengthen discipline is to take control of your mornings. How you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. If you wake up and immediately check your phone, hit snooze or waste time, you are starting your day with weakness. But if you begin with purpose, getting up on time, moving your body, setting clear intentions, you build momentum. Discipline is built through repetition. The more you push yourself to stay consistent, the easier it becomes. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Each small victory strengthens your mental toughness. And the more disciplined you become, the less you even consider giving in to weakness. People often think discipline requires extreme willpower, but that's not true. Willpower fades over time. The secret to long-term discipline is structure. You must create systems that make success automatic. Plan your days in advance. Set reminders. Use deadlines. Remove unnecessary decisions so that taking the right action becomes effortless. When you develop discipline, you stop looking for excuses. You stop waiting for the perfect time. You stop letting small distractions pull you away from what matters. You become someone who takes control, someone who does the work, no matter what. Discipline is what separates those who succeed from those who spend their lives wondering what could have been. If you want to reach your full potential, strengthen your discipline. Stop giving in to weakness. Make the choice to push forward every single day. Chapter 9. Set clear financial goals and stop living without a plan. Money without direction disappears. If you don't have a clear financial plan, you will always feel like you're struggling, no matter how much you earn. Too many people live paycheck to paycheck, not because they don't make enough, but because they have no strategy. They spend mindlessly, they save inconsistently, and they never take control of their financial future. If you want to break free from financial stress, you must set clear financial goals and follow a plan that moves you forward. A financial goal is not just a vague idea of wanting more money. It is a specific target that gives your income a purpose. Without a goal, you will always find a way to spend what you have. Unexpected expenses will pop up. Small purchases will add up. And before you know it, another month will pass without progress. But when you set a goal, when you decide exactly what you want your money to do for you, you create a path to financial security and freedom. Start by identifying what truly matters to you. Do you want to eliminate debt? Build an emergency fund? Save for a house? Invest for the future? Your financial goals should be meaningful, not just numbers on paper. When you have a strong reason behind your goal, you are more likely to stay committed. Once you know your goal, break it down. A goal without a plan is just a wish. If you want to save $10,000, figure out how much you need to set aside each month. If you want to pay off debt, calculate the fastest way to do it without neglecting other financial responsibilities. Clarity eliminates confusion. The more specific your plan, the easier it becomes to follow. A critical part of financial success is tracking where your money goes. If you don't know how much you spend, you have no control. Every dollar should have a purpose. Look at your expenses, identify wasteful spending, cut out things that don't serve you. Many people struggle financially, not because they don't earn enough, but because they let small, unnecessary expenses drain their income. Budgeting is not about restricting yourself. It's about making sure your money is working for you. If you don't plan how to use your money, it will slip through your fingers. Set limits on spending categories. Prioritize needs over wants. Give yourself room for enjoyment, but within a structure that keeps you on track. Discipline is the difference between financial growth and financial struggle. If you want to see progress, you must stop making excuses. Stop telling yourself you'll start saving next month. Stop justifying unnecessary purchases. Stop avoiding reality when it comes to your financial health. The longer you wait to take control, the harder it will be to fix the damage later. Your income is a tool. If you use it wisely, it will build wealth. If you waste it, you will stay stuck in the same cycle forever. If you want more financial stability, find ways to increase your income. Learn new skills. Seek better opportunities. Develop multiple streams of income. Financial growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens by intention. Stop hoping for financial success and start planning for it. Every dollar you earn is a step toward your future. Make sure those steps are leading you in the right direction. Set clear financial goals, create a strong plan, and commit to following through. The sooner you take control, the sooner you will experience real financial freedom. Chapter 10. Take charge of your mood and stop making excuses. Your mood is not in control of you. You are in control of your mood. Too many people let their emotions dictate their actions, their productivity, and their entire day. They wake up feeling off, so they stay unmotivated. They encounter a challenge, so they let frustration take over. They hear bad news, and they allow it to drain their energy for the rest of the day. This cycle keeps people stuck because they believe their emotions are in charge. But the truth is, you can decide how you respond, no matter how you feel. Taking charge of your mood starts with responsibility. You cannot blame your circumstances, other people, or unexpected events for how you react. Life will always bring challenges. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall apart. But if you allow these things to control your emotions, you will always be at their mercy. If you want real control over your life, you must first take control of your mood. The first step is recognizing your patterns. Do you constantly make excuses for why you're in a bad mood? Do you let small things ruin your entire day? Pay attention to the moments when you shift into negativity. When do you feel irritated, stressed, or unmotivated? Understanding these triggers allows you to break the cycle. Instead of reacting automatically, you can pause, evaluate, and choose a better response. Excuses keep you stuck. The moment you say, "I'm in a bad mood because of this person," or "I can't focus today because I'm not feeling it," you give away your power. Stop justifying negativity. A bad mood doesn't have to last all day. Stress doesn't have to control you. Frustration doesn't have to stop you from taking action. The more you practice shifting your mindset, the stronger your self-control becomes. A major key to mastering your mood is managing your thoughts. What you focus on expands. If you dwell on problems, they will consume your mind. If you replay negative situations, you will feel worse. Your thoughts shape your emotions, and your emotions influence your actions. When you catch yourself spiraling into negativity, break the pattern. Shift your attention. Focus on solutions instead of problems. Train your mind to find the lesson instead of the frustration. Your mood is also affected by your body. If you feel sluggish, anxious or irritated, check your habits. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you moving your body? Are you fueling yourself with healthy food? Your physical state influences your mental state. If you want to feel better, take care of yourself. Exercise. Hydrate. Get fresh air. Small habits create a strong foundation for emotional stability. Another powerful tool for taking charge of your mood is setting the tone for your day. If you wake up and immediately check your phone, read bad news, or scroll through negativity, you are setting yourself up for a reactive mindset. Instead, take control from the moment you wake up. Start your day with gratitude, movement, and clear priorities. Set an intention for how you want to feel and how you will respond to challenges. Stop waiting for external circumstances to improve before you decide to be in a better mood. Happiness, focus, and motivation are choices. The more you practice controlling your emotions, the stronger you become. Take responsibility. Stop making excuses. Decide that you will not let anything outside of you control what happens inside of you. This is how you take charge of your mood and take charge of your life. Chapter 11. Learn to listen more and stop interrupting others. Listening is one of the most powerful skills you can develop, yet most people never master it. Instead of truly hearing what others have to say, they wait for their turn to talk. Instead of absorbing the message, they interrupt, eager to insert their own thoughts. This habit damages relationships, limits personal growth, and prevents deep understanding. If you want to be respected, if you want to learn from others, if you want to strengthen your communication skills, you must learn to listen more and stop interrupting. Interrupting is often a sign of impatience. It shows that you value your words more than the other person's. It signals that you believe what you have to say is more important than what they are expressing. This habit pushes people away. It makes them feel unheard, disrespected, and frustrated. No one enjoys talking to someone who constantly cuts them off. When you listen more, you build stronger connections. People appreciate being heard. They open up when they feel that someone is truly paying attention. When you stop interrupting and allow others to fully express themselves, you gain insight into their thoughts, emotions, and experiences. This not only strengthens relationships, but also helps you grow as a person. A major reason people interrupt is because they assume they already know what the other person is going to say. They believe they understand the point before it's fully made, so they jump in. This is a mistake. Even if you think you know where the conversation is going, you don't. You are not inside the other person's mind. By cutting them off, you might miss valuable information, a new perspective, or a deeper understanding of their thoughts. Another common reason people interrupt is because they feel the need to prove themselves. They want to sound intelligent, add their opinion, or correct the speaker, but real confidence doesn't come from dominating a conversation. It comes from being secure enough to listen. The strongest communicators are not the ones who talk the most, but the ones who listen the best. If you struggle with interrupting, start by becoming aware of it. Pay attention to your conversations. Notice when you feel the urge to jump in. When someone is speaking, resist the impulse to formulate your response while they're still talking. Instead, focus entirely on their words. Let them finish. Take a pause before you reply. This small adjustment can transform the way people perceive you. Practice active listening. This means being fully present in a conversation, no distractions, no half-listening while thinking about your response. Make eye contact. Nod when appropriate. Show that you are engaged. Ask follow-up questions that demonstrate you understand. When you do speak, acknowledge what the other person has said before sharing your thoughts. Interrupting often happens in high-energy discussions, debates, or disagreements. When emotions run high, people tend to talk over each other, but true understanding never comes from a shouting match. If you want to be persuasive, if you want to be respected, control your urge to interrupt. Listen fully, then respond calmly and thoughtfully. Listening is not a passive act, it is a skill that requires discipline. When you master it, you gain deeper relationships, greater wisdom, and stronger communication skills. Stop interrupting. Start listening. It will change the way people see you, and more importantly, it will change the way you understand the world. Chapter 12. Stop letting your thoughts control you and take charge. Your thoughts are powerful. They shape your emotions, influence your decisions, and determine the direction of your life. But here's the truth. Your thoughts are not always right. They are not always helpful. And if you don't take control of them, they will control you. Many people go through life as prisoners of their own minds, believing every fear, every doubt, and every negative assumption that crosses their thoughts. They let their inner voice dictate what they can or cannot do. But if you want to take charge of your life, you must take charge of your mind. The first step to regaining control is realizing that you are separate from your thoughts. Just because you think something doesn't mean it's true. Just because a negative thought appears doesn't mean you have to accept it. Most people never question their thoughts. They assume that if something enters their mind, it must be real. But this is a mistake. Your brain is constantly generating ideas, many of which are based on fear, past experiences, or false assumptions. If you blindly follow every thought, you will always be at the mercy of your emotions. Start paying attention to the way your thoughts influence your behavior. Do you talk yourself out of taking action? Do you let worry keep you from making decisions? Do you repeat the same limiting beliefs over and over? These patterns do not happen by accident. They happen because you allow them to. If you want to change, you must break the cycle. One of the most common ways people let their thoughts control them is by focusing on fear, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. These thoughts create hesitation, and hesitation kills progress. Every time you let fear hold you back, you strengthen its grip on you. But when you take action despite fear, you weaken its power. The key is not to eliminate fear, it is to stop letting it make decisions for you. Another way thoughts take control is through self-doubt. You might tell yourself you're not good enough, not ready, or not capable. But these are just thoughts, not reality. If you believe them, they will become your reality. If you challenge them, you can break free. The difference between successful people and those who stay stuck is not intelligence or talent, it's mindset. Those who succeed refuse to let negative thoughts define them. To take charge of your mind, you must develop mental discipline. When a negative thought enters, don't let it take root. Challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? If it's not serving you, replace it with one that does. Train yourself to shift your focus. Instead of thinking about what could go wrong, focus on what could go right. Instead of replaying mistakes, focus on what you've learned. Your mind will believe whatever you consistently feed it. Choose wisely. Your daily habits shape your thoughts. If you constantly consume negativity, whether from social media, the news, or toxic people, your mind will reflect that. Be intentional about what you expose yourself to. Surround yourself with positive influences. Read books that strengthen your mindset. Engage in activities that build confidence. Protect your mental space the same way you would protect your physical space. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You have the power to direct them. It won't happen overnight, but with consistent effort, you can train your mind to work for you instead of against you. Stop letting negative thoughts dictate your actions. Stop allowing fear and doubt to control your choices. Take charge of your mind, and you will take charge of your future. Chapter 13. Stop spending on things you don't need, and save more. Money is one of the most powerful tools you have, yet too many people waste it on things that don't add real value to their lives. They spend without thinking, chasing short-term satisfaction while ignoring the long-term consequences. They buy things they don't need, upgrade things that still work, and let their emotions dictate their purchases. Then, when financial stress hits, they wonder why they never have enough. If you want real financial security, if you want the freedom to make choices without fear, you must stop spending on things that don't matter and start saving more. The first step is recognizing the difference between what you want and what you need. Many people convince themselves that every purchase is essential. They say, "I need this new phone," or "I need to eat out every weekend." But in reality, these are wants disguised as needs. The key to saving more is learning to separate the two. Needs are the basics: food, shelter, transportation, and essential bills. Wants are everything else. When you control your spending on wants, you create financial breathing room. Most unnecessary spending happens on impulse. You see something, you want it, and without thinking, you buy it. This is where financial discipline is tested. Before making a purchase, ask yourself, do I truly need this? Will this improve my life in a meaningful way? Is this worth the hours I work to earn this money? Delaying purchases gives you time to evaluate whether something is necessary or just a momentary desire. Marketing is designed to make you spend. Companies spend billions of dollars studying human psychology, finding ways to convince you that you need their products. Sales, limited time offers, and social pressure make you feel like you're missing out if you don't buy. But the truth is, you are not missing anything. The only thing you're missing is the stress that comes from wasting money. When you recognize these tactics, you gain power over them. Another reason people overspend is emotional spending. When they're stressed, bored, or unhappy, they buy things to feel better. But shopping is not a solution. It's a distraction. The relief is temporary, but the financial damage lasts. Instead of using spending as an escape, find healthier ways to handle emotions. Exercise, read, talk to someone, or focus on a meaningful goal. The less you rely on spending for happiness, the stronger your financial future becomes. One of the simplest ways to save more is to track every dollar you spend. Most people don't realize where their money is going. They make dozens of small purchases throughout the month, and by the time they check their bank balance, they're shocked at how little they have left. Tracking your spending forces you to face reality. It helps you see patterns, cut unnecessary costs, and take control of your financial future. Having a clear savings goal makes it easier to resist unnecessary spending. When you know exactly what you're saving for, a home, an emergency fund, financial freedom, you have a reason to say no to impulse purchases. Every dollar saved moves you closer to that goal. Without a clear target, money slips away unnoticed. Financial security is not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. Plenty of high-income earners struggle financially because they spend everything they make. On the other hand, those who build wealth do so by controlling their spending and making smart financial decisions. The path to financial freedom is simple: spend less than you earn, save consistently, and invest wisely. You have the power to change your financial future. It starts with small decisions made every day. Stop wasting money on things that don't serve you. Focus on what truly matters. Build habits that create security instead of stress. The sooner you take control, the sooner you experience real financial freedom. Chapter 14. Train your patience and stop reacting out of anger. Patience is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. It allows you to stay in control, think clearly, and respond with wisdom instead of regret. But too many people let their emotions dictate their reactions. They allow frustration to boil over, they lash out when things don't go their way, and they speak or act in ways that create more problems instead of solutions. If you want to take control of your life, you must train your patience and stop reacting out of anger. Anger is natural. It is a response to feeling threatened, disrespected, or frustrated. But just because something is natural doesn't mean it should control you. Every time you react in anger, you give your power away. You let someone else dictate how you feel and how you behave. And most of the time, when anger takes over, you say or do things you regret later. That's why patience is key. It gives you the ability to pause, think, and respond in a way that aligns with your true intentions. Many people believe patience is something you either have or don't have, but that's not true. Patience is a skill, and like any skill, it can be strengthened with practice. The first step is awareness. Pay attention to how you react in stressful situations. Do you raise your voice? Do you interrupt? Do you make decisions out of frustration instead of logic? If you don't recognize the problem, you can't fix it. Once you become aware of your reactions, the next step is creating space between your emotions and your response. This is what separates people who stay in control from those who let emotions control them. When something upsets you, don't react immediately. Take a deep breath. Count to 10. Walk away if you need to. Give yourself even a few seconds to think before you speak or act. Those few seconds can mean the difference between making a smart decision and one you regret. Another key to developing patience is shifting your perspective. Often, anger comes from unrealistic expectations. You expect people to behave a certain way, and when they don't, you get upset. You expect life to go smoothly. And when it doesn't, frustration takes over. But the truth is, life is unpredictable. People make mistakes. Things don't always go as planned. The more you accept this, the easier it becomes to stay calm. Patience also grows when you focus on solutions instead of problems. When you react with anger, you make the situation worse. But when you stay calm, you can think clearly and find a way forward. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, ask yourself, what can I do to fix this? How can I handle this in a way that benefits me? This shift in mindset makes all the difference. Another powerful way to build patience is by putting yourself in the other person's shoes. When someone upsets you, it's easy to assume they did it on purpose. But in most cases, people aren't trying to make your life difficult. They're just dealing with their own struggles. Maybe the rude cashier had a terrible day. Maybe the driver who cut you off was distracted by something serious. When you learn to give people the benefit of the doubt, you stop taking things personally and your patience grows. Developing patience doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It means handling them in a way that serves you instead of hurting you. If you feel anger building up, find a healthy way to release it. Exercise. Write in a journal. Talk to someone you trust. The goal is not to ignore your emotions, but to channel them in a way that keeps you in control. The most successful and respected people in the world have one thing in common. They know how to stay calm under pressure. They don't let temporary emotions ruin long-term outcomes. If you want to be strong, if you want to be in charge of your life, if you want to handle challenges with wisdom instead of regret, train your patience. Stop reacting out of anger and start responding with intention. Chapter 15. Control your habits and stop repeating destructive cycles. Your habits shape your life. The things you do every day, whether consciously or unconsciously, determine where you end up. If you continue repeating destructive cycles, you will remain stuck in the same place, facing the same struggles, wondering why nothing changes. But if you take control of your habits, you take control of your future. Most people don't realize how much power their daily actions hold. They focus on big goals, big dreams, and big breakthroughs, but they ignore the small, consistent behaviors that either move them forward or hold them back. If you wake up late every day, waste hours on distractions, avoid responsibilities, and let excuses guide your choices, you will stay in the same cycle. But if you build discipline, focus on progress, and commit to better habits, everything changes. The first step is identifying the patterns that keep you trapped. If you feel stuck in life, look at what you do every day. Are you repeating behaviors that lead to frustration? Do you waste time on things that don't add value to your life? Do you allow negative habits to control you instead of taking charge? If you don't recognize the problem, you can't fix it. Destructive cycles don't break on their own. If you want change, you have to take responsibility. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop telling yourself that things will magically improve. They won't unless you do something about it. The truth is, your future is determined by what you do today. If you want a different outcome, you need different habits. Replacing bad habits starts with small, intentional changes. Too many people try to overhaul everything at once, and when they fail, they give up. The key is focusing on one habit at a time. If you struggle with procrastination, start by setting a timer and working for just 10 minutes. If you want to wake up earlier, start by setting your alarm just 15 minutes earlier than usual. Small improvements add up, and over time, they become part of who you are. Another powerful way to take control is by creating an environment that supports better habits. If you keep unhealthy food in your kitchen, you will eat it. If you surround yourself with people who waste time, you will do the same. If your phone is always within reach, you will check it constantly. Changing your environment makes good habits easier and bad habits harder. Breaking destructive cycles also requires self-awareness. Many bad habits come from deeper issues: stress, boredom, insecurity, or fear. If you don't address the root cause, the habit will keep coming back. Instead of just trying to stop a habit, ask yourself why you started it in the first place. Are you overeating because you're stressed? Are you avoiding work because you're afraid of failure? When you understand the real reason, you can find a better solution. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting for motivation. They think they need to feel ready before they take action. but motivation is unreliable. Some days you will feel inspired, other days you won't. If you only take action when you feel like it, you will never build lasting habits. The secret to success is doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Success is not built on willpower alone, it is built on systems. Create a daily routine that sets you up for progress. Plan your day before it starts. Remove distractions, set reminders, track your progress. The more structure you create, the less likely you are to fall back into old habits. The hardest part of breaking a cycle is sticking with it when progress feels slow. You won't see results overnight. Some days, it will feel like nothing is changing. This is when most people quit. But the ones who keep going, who stay consistent even when it's hard, are the ones who succeed. Real change happens over time. The question is, are you willing to stick with it long enough to see the results? You have the power to break free from destructive habits. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to repeat the same mistakes. Every choice you make is a chance to create a better future. Take control, make better decisions, build habits that push you forward instead of holding you back. The life you want is within reach, but it starts with what you do today. Chapter 16. Choose your words wisely and stop hurting yourself. The words you speak shape your reality. They influence how you think, how you feel, and how others see you. If you constantly speak negatively about yourself, if you doubt your abilities, if you use language that reinforces failure, you are creating your own limitations. But if you choose your words wisely, if you speak with confidence and intention, you take control of your future, instead of letting your words control you. Most people don't realize the power their words hold. They say things out of habit, without thinking, and those words become part of their mindset. When you tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never succeed," or "I always fail," you are reinforcing those beliefs. Your mind listens to what you say, and over time, it starts to believe it. But the opposite is also true. When you speak with strength, when you affirm your ability to improve, when you focus on what you can do instead of what you can't, your mindset shifts. The first step to choosing your words wisely is awareness. Pay attention to the way you talk to yourself. Would you speak to a friend the way you speak to yourself? If not, it's time to change. Stop using language that makes you feel weak or incapable. Every time you catch yourself saying something negative about yourself, stop and replace it with something better. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I'm still learning, and I will figure it out." Instead of, "I always mess up," say, "I make mistakes, but I improve every time." Your words don't just affect you, they affect the people around you. If you constantly complain, criticize, or speak with negativity, you create a toxic environment. But when you choose words that inspire, encourage, and uplift, you create a space where growth is possible. Think about the way you communicate with others. Do you focus on solutions or problems? Do you offer support or judgment? The way you speak shapes your relationships, your opportunities, and the energy you bring into the world. Many people underestimate how much their words influence their emotions. If you say, "I'm so tired," you will feel more exhausted. If you say, "This is impossible," your mind will shut down. But when you use words that push you forward, "I can handle this," "I will find a way," "I am getting stronger every day," you shift your mindset from defeat to possibility. One of the most damaging ways people use words is through self-sabotage. They say things like, "I'm just not lucky," "Good things don't happen to me," or "I'll never be successful." These statements become mental barriers that stop them from taking action. The truth is, success has nothing to do with luck. It has everything to do with mindset, effort, and persistence. If you keep telling yourself that you can't, you won't even try. But if you start speaking as if success is possible, you will begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. Another way words impact your life is through the stories you tell yourself. Every person has an internal narrative about who they are and what they are capable of. If your story is full of limitations, fear, and self-doubt, you will live according to that script. But if your story is about resilience, growth, and determination, you will rise to meet the challenges in front of you. The good news is, you can change your story at any time. It starts with changing your words. Choosing your words wisely also means being careful with what you allow into your mind. If you constantly listen to negativity, gossip, or people who bring you down, their words will become part of your thinking. Protect your mind. Surround yourself with people who speak with purpose, who encourage growth, who use words that build instead of destroy. The way you speak to yourself and others is a habit, and like any habit, it can be changed with practice. Start small. Replace one negative phrase with a positive one each day. Be intentional with your words. Speak with confidence, with purpose, with belief in yourself. Over time, the way you speak will transform the way you think, and the way you think will transform your life. Chapter 17. Train your mind to see solutions and not problems. Life is full of challenges. No matter who you are or where you come from, you will face obstacles, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. Some people allow these difficulties to overwhelm them, focusing only on what's wrong and why things aren't working. Others see challenges as opportunities, directing their energy toward finding solutions instead of dwelling on problems. The difference between these two mindsets is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. Training your mind to see solutions instead of problems is not about ignoring reality. It's about shifting your focus from frustration to action. When something goes wrong, most people waste time complaining, blaming, or feeling defeated. But that doesn't change anything. The problem remains the same. The only way forward is to focus on what can be done to fix it. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What can I do about this?" That one shift in thinking can transform your entire approach to life. The first step to developing a solution-oriented mindset is awareness. Pay attention to how you react when things don't go as planned. Do you immediately think about what's wrong, or do you start looking for ways to move forward? If your default reaction is to dwell on the problem, recognize it and make a conscious effort to shift your focus. Instead of letting frustration take over, pause and ask yourself, what's one step I can take right now to improve this situation? Problems will always exist, but so will solutions. The key is training your mind to focus on possibilities instead of limitations. Some people get stuck because they believe their circumstances control them. They think, "I can't change this," or "there's nothing I can do." But in most situations, there is always something that can be done, even if it's just adjusting your perspective or learning from the experience. One powerful way to rewire your thinking is by practicing problem solving daily. Instead of avoiding challenges, embrace them. Look at situations that frustrate you and make it a habit to brainstorm possible solutions. If something isn't working, don't keep repeating the same mistakes. Analyze it, adapt, and try a different approach. The more you train yourself to focus on solutions, the faster you'll develop the ability to navigate difficulties with confidence. Another important shift is changing the language you use when facing obstacles. Instead of saying, "This is too hard," say, "This is challenging, but I can figure it out." Instead of thinking, "I don't know what to do," say, "I will find a way." The words you use shape your thinking, and your thinking shapes your actions. A person who constantly tells themselves that something is impossible will never look for a solution. But someone who believes there is always a way forward will keep searching until they find it. Developing a solution-focused mindset also means becoming resourceful. If you don't have an answer, seek one, read, learn, ask questions, and explore new perspectives. Many times, people remain stuck, not because there are no solutions, but because they aren't willing to search for them. The most successful individuals are those who take responsibility for finding answers, instead of waiting for someone else to fix their problems. Another reason people struggle to find solutions is fear. They are afraid of making mistakes, so they hesitate to take action. They overthink, analyze every possible outcome, and end up doing nothing. But waiting for the perfect solution often leads to inaction. Instead of trying to find the perfect answer, focus on taking the next best step. Progress is made by moving forward, not by waiting for certainty. To train your mind to see solutions, surround yourself with people who think the same way. If you spend time with individuals who always focus on what's wrong, that mindset will rub off on you. But if you surround yourself with people who see opportunities, who approach challenges with confidence, and who believe that problems can be solved, you will start adopting the same mindset. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is looking at challenges as learning experiences. Every problem carries a lesson. Instead of seeing obstacles as setbacks, view them as stepping stones. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? People who see every challenge as an opportunity to improve are the ones who make the most progress in life. The truth is, problems will never go away. No matter how much success you achieve, new challenges will always arise. But if you train your mind to focus on solutions, you will never be defeated by them. You will develop the ability to adapt, to overcome, and to keep moving forward, no matter what happens. And that mindset will set you apart. Chapter 18. Strengthen your willpower and stop making weak choices. Willpower is the foundation of every strong decision you make in life. It is the ability to resist temptations, push through difficulties, and stay committed to what truly matters. Without it, people fall into patterns of weakness, giving in to distractions, making excuses, and choosing comfort over growth. If you want to take control of your life, you must strengthen your willpower and stop making weak choices that hold you back. The first step is to recognize that willpower is not just something you are born with, it's something you can develop. Many people believe they lack discipline because they were never naturally strong-willed. But willpower is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you make a decision that challenges you, whether it's waking up early, avoiding junk food, or sticking to a difficult task, you are training yourself to become mentally stronger. One reason people struggle with weak choices is because they rely on motivation. They wait until they feel inspired to take action. But motivation is temporary. Some days you will feel energized and ready to take on the world, and other days you won't feel like doing anything. If you only act when you feel motivated, you will never be consistent. Willpower is what allows you to keep going even when you don't feel like it. It's about making a commitment to yourself and following through, no matter what. To build strong willpower, you need to eliminate unnecessary temptations. If you constantly put yourself in situations where you have to fight against distractions or bad habits, you are making things harder than they need to be. Set up your environment for success. If you are trying to be productive, remove distractions from your workspace. If you want to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in your house. The more you control your surroundings, the easier it becomes to make the right choices. Another key to strengthening your willpower is making small, consistent improvements. Too many people try to change everything at once and end up failing. If you have been making weak choices for years, you can't expect to suddenly become disciplined overnight. Start with one small change. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier, exercising for 10 minutes a day, or cutting out one unhealthy habit. The goal is to prove to yourself that you can stay committed. Once you succeed in one area, you will gain the confidence to take on bigger challenges. Self-control also improves when you practice delaying gratification. Many weak choices come from seeking instant pleasure, choosing comfort over effort, distractions over discipline, or short-term happiness over long-term success. If you want to develop stronger willpower, get used to waiting. If you have a craving for something unhealthy, delay eating it for 10 minutes and see if the urge passes. If you want to scroll through social media while working, finish one important task first. Training yourself to resist immediate pleasure will make it easier to stay committed to your bigger goals. You must also be careful about the way you talk to yourself. If you constantly tell yourself, "I have no self-control," or "I'm not disciplined enough," you are reinforcing weakness. Instead, start identifying as someone who has strong willpower. Say to yourself, "I am in control of my choices," or "I am strong enough to stick to my commitments." The way you see yourself shapes your behavior. If you believe you are weak, you will act accordingly. If you believe you are strong, you will make choices that reflect that belief. Another way to strengthen your willpower is to create clear rules for yourself. Too many people fail because they leave their decisions open-ended. If you say, "I'll try to exercise more," or "I'll eat healthier," those are weak commitments. Be specific. Set a rule like, "I will exercise for 30 minutes every morning," or "I will only eat dessert once a week." When you make firm commitments, you remove the option of making weak choices. Accountability is also a powerful tool for building willpower. When you keep your goals to yourself, it's easy to let them slide. But when you make a commitment to someone else, you create an extra layer of responsibility. Find a friend, mentor, or group that will hold you to a higher standard. Surround yourself with people who push you to be better and remind you of your commitments when you start slipping. One of the biggest obstacles to strong willpower is the habit of making excuses. People often justify weak choices by blaming their circumstances. They tell themselves, "I'm too tired, I don't have time," or "it's too hard." But every time you make an excuse, you weaken your mental strength. Instead of looking for reasons why you can't do something, look for ways to make it work. If you're tired, do it anyway. If you're busy, find a way to fit it in. The more you push past your excuses, the less power they will have over you. Willpower also grows when you learn to embrace discomfort. Weak choices often come from avoiding anything that feels difficult or unpleasant, but discomfort is part of growth. If you want to be stronger, you must stop avoiding challenges and start facing them head-on. The more you get used to doing hard things, the easier they become. Another way to build mental strength is by practicing mindfulness. Many weak choices come from acting on impulse. grabbing unhealthy food without thinking, procrastinating on work, or getting distracted by social media. When you train yourself to be more aware of your thoughts and actions, you gain better control over them. Before making a decision, pause and ask yourself, is this choice making me stronger or weaker? That one moment of awareness can prevent countless weak decisions. Finally, you must develop a long-term mindset. Many people make weak choices because they are only thinking about what feels good right now. But the strongest individuals think ahead. They consider how their choices today will impact their future. They understand that discipline now leads to freedom later. Every strong decision you make today builds a better life for you tomorrow. If you want to stop making weak choices, you must take control of your willpower. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop giving in to temptation. Stop making excuses. Strengthen your discipline one step at a time, and soon you will become the kind of person who does what needs to be done, no matter what. Chapter 19. Focus on building wealth and stop wasting your earnings. Building wealth is not about how much money you make. It's about how much you keep, how wisely you use it, and how effectively you make it grow. Many people earn enough to create financial security, yet they struggle because they spend without purpose. If you don't take control of your money, it will control you. If you don't build wealth intentionally, you will waste years working hard without seeing progress. The key is to shift your mindset, stop wasting your earnings, and commit to financial growth with discipline and strategy. The first step to building wealth is understanding where your money is going. Too many people live paycheck to paycheck, not because they don't earn enough, but because they don't track their expenses. Money leaks happen when you spend mindlessly. Small purchases, unnecessary subscriptions, impulsive shopping. A few dollars here and there might seem insignificant, but over time they add up to thousands. If you want to take control, start by tracking every dollar. When you see exactly where your money goes, you gain the power to redirect it toward wealth building instead of waste. Once you identify unnecessary spending, the next step is to set clear financial priorities. Most people spend money based on habit, emotions, or social pressure instead of purpose. They buy things they don't need because of boredom, stress, or the fear of missing out. But every dollar you spend should serve your bigger financial goals. If your money is not building your future, it's being wasted. Before making any purchase, ask yourself, is this helping me build wealth, or is it just satisfying a temporary desire? That one question can save you from countless poor financial decisions. Another critical factor is avoiding lifestyle inflation. Many people make more money as they progress in life, but instead of using it to build wealth, they increase their spending. They upgrade their car, move to a bigger house, or buy expensive gadgets, all because they can. But wealth is not built by spending more every time you earn more. True financial success comes from keeping your expenses steady while increasing your income. If you continue living like you did when you were making less and invest the extra money, you will create financial security much faster than those who constantly upgrade their lifestyle. One of the biggest financial mistakes people make is relying too much on debt. Borrowing money for things that don't appreciate in value is a guaranteed way to stay broke. Credit cards, personal loans, and financing luxury items keep people stuck in a cycle of debt. Every time you pay interest, you are making someone else rich instead of yourself. The first step to breaking this cycle is committing to living within your means. If you can't afford something without going into debt, you can't afford it. Focus on saving for what you need instead of relying on borrowed money that drains your future income. If you truly want to build wealth, you must prioritize saving and investing. Many people make the mistake of saving whatever is left after spending. But if you wait until the end of the month to save, there's usually nothing left. The key is to pay yourself first. The moment you receive income, set aside a portion for savings and investments before spending on anything else. This simple habit ensures that your money is working for you instead of being wasted on things that don't matter. Investing is where true wealth is built. Saving money alone is not enough because inflation reduces its value over time. If your money is sitting in a regular savings account, it's losing purchasing power every year. The wealthy understand that money must grow. Investing in stocks, real estate, or businesses allows your money to multiply. The earlier you start, the more powerful your wealth building becomes. Even small investments compound over time, turning into significant wealth. The mistake most people make is waiting until they have more money to start investing. But you don't need a fortune to begin. The key is consistency. Invest what you can and let time do the rest. Another vital step is building multiple streams of income. Relying on a single source of income is risky. If you lose your job or face an unexpected financial challenge, your entire stability is at risk. Wealthy individuals don't depend on one paycheck. They create various ways to earn. This could be through investments, side businesses, real estate, or other passive income sources. The more income streams you build, the more financial security you create. At the same time, it's crucial to develop financial discipline. Many people know what they need to do, but they lack the self-control to follow through. They start saving but then dip into their savings for unnecessary expenses. They plan to invest but delay because they feel uncertain. They make a budget but don't stick to it. If you want financial success, you must commit to discipline. Set clear financial rules for yourself: how much you will save, how much you will invest, and what spending habits you will eliminate, and stick to them no matter what. One of the most overlooked aspects of wealth building is surrounding yourself with the right influences. If you spend time with people who have poor financial habits, their mindset will rub off on you. Many people stay broke because they listen to bad financial advice from people who are struggling themselves. Instead, learn from those who have built real wealth. Read books on financial success, follow experts who teach smart money strategies, and avoid financial habits that keep people trapped in a cycle of struggle. Building wealth also requires patience. Many people fail because they expect instant results. They want to get rich quickly, so they take risky financial shortcuts, fall for scams, or give up when they don't see immediate progress. But true wealth is built over time. The most successful individuals understand that financial freedom is a long-term game. If you stay consistent with smart financial habits, you will see results, even if it takes years. The key is to start and keep going. Another mistake to avoid is thinking that more money will solve all your financial problems. Many people believe that if they just earned more, they would be financially secure. But without the right financial habits, even a high income won't help. There are countless stories of people who made millions and still went broke because they never learned how to manage money. Financial success is not about how much you make, it's about how wisely you use it. If you can't manage a small income, you won't manage a big one either. You must also protect your wealth. Many people work hard to save and invest, but lose everything because they don't take financial security seriously. Without an emergency fund, one unexpected expense can wipe out years of savings. Without proper insurance, one accident or illness can destroy financial stability. Without a will or estate plan, your wealth can be lost due to legal complications. Building wealth is not just about growing your money, it's about securing it for the future. The most important mindset shift is realizing that wealth is not a destination, it's a habit. Some people believe that once they reach a certain income level, they will be financially secure. But financial success is a way of life. It's about making smart choices every day, earning, saving, investing, and spending with purpose. If you commit to the right financial habits, wealth will come as a result. If you want to build financial security, you must stop wasting your earnings. Every dollar you earn is a tool. Either you use it to create a better future, or you waste it on things that have no lasting value. Stop spending out of habit. Stop letting emotions control your financial decisions. Stop making excuses for why you can't save or invest. Take control of your money now, and your future self will thank you. Chapter 20. Take control of your future and stop living on autopilot. Most people go through life without truly living. They wake up, follow the same routines, go to work, come home, and repeat the cycle day after day. They drift through life without a clear purpose, letting time slip away. But time is the most valuable resource you have, and if you don't take control of it, life will pass you by before you realize what happened. You were not meant to simply exist. You were meant to grow, achieve, and create a future that excites you. Taking control of your future starts with awareness. You must become fully conscious of where your life is headed. Many people avoid thinking about their future because it forces them to confront uncomfortable truths. They tell themselves they'll figure things out later, but later never comes. If you don't take control now, your future will be shaped by circumstances instead of your own choices. You must decide today that you will no longer live on autopilot. The first step is defining what you truly want. Most people don't achieve greatness because they never take the time to decide what they're striving for. They allow society, family, or circumstances to dictate their path. But real success comes from intentionality. You must ask yourself, what kind of life do I want to create? What goals excite me? What legacy do I want to leave behind? When you have clarity about what you want, you gain the power to move toward it. Once you know what you want, the next step is taking responsibility for creating it. Many people wait for the right time to change their lives, but the perfect time will never come. The only way to create a better future is to start now. Stop waiting for circumstances to improve. Stop blaming external factors. Stop making excuses for why you can't take action. The moment you accept full responsibility for your future, you regain control over your life. To break free from autopilot mode, you must develop new habits. Your daily habits determine your future. If your current habits are not leading you toward the life you want, they must change. Successful people don't rely on motivation alone. They build systems that push them forward even when they don't feel like it. If you don't create intentional habits, you will default to old patterns that keep you stuck. Identify the habits that hold you back and replace them with habits that move you forward. One of the biggest reasons people stay on autopilot is because they fear change. They stay in the same routines because they are familiar, even if they are unfulfilling. But real growth requires stepping outside of your comfort zone. If you want a different future, you must be willing to do things differently. You must challenge yourself, take risks, and embrace uncertainty. Every time you push yourself beyond what's comfortable, you expand your potential. Your environment also plays a huge role in shaping your future. If you surround yourself with people who lack ambition, it will be difficult to break free from mediocrity. If you consume negative content every day, it will cloud your mindset. If you live in a constant state of distraction, you will never make real progress. You must take control of what influences you. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, seek knowledge that empowers you, and eliminate distractions that waste your time. Another important step is managing your time effectively. Many people say they don't have time to pursue their dreams, but the truth is, they are not using their time wisely. Time is not something you find, it's something you make. If you are serious about creating a better future, you must prioritize what truly matters. Cut out meaningless activities. Set clear goals for how you use your time. Make every day count. If you want to take control of your future, you must also strengthen your mindset. Success is not just about what you do, it's about how you think. Many people hold themselves back because of limiting beliefs. They tell themselves they are not capable, not smart enough, or not lucky enough. But these are just stories they've repeated to themselves for too long. The truth is, you have the power to reshape your mindset. Challenge negative thoughts. Replace doubt with confidence. Train yourself to see possibilities instead of obstacles. You must also develop resilience. Life will test you. Challenges will come. Failures will happen. But if you let setbacks define you, you will never move forward. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not intelligence or talent, it's perseverance. When things get hard, you must remind yourself why you started. Keep pushing forward, even when progress seems slow. Taking control of your future also means taking control of your health. Your energy, focus, and discipline are all affected by your physical state. If you neglect your health, everything else suffers. Eat well, exercise regularly, get enough sleep. Take care of yourself so that you have the strength to build the future you want. Financial independence is another key factor. If you are constantly worried about money, you won't have the freedom to make bold decisions. You must take control of your finances, spend wisely, save consistently, and invest in your future. The more financial security you build, the more control you have over your life. Another crucial step is committing to lifelong learning. The world is constantly evolving, and if you stop learning, you will fall behind. Read books, seek mentors, develop new skills. Growth does not stop after school, it's a lifelong process. The more you learn, the more opportunities you create for yourself. You must also take action. Many people get stuck in the planning phase. They set goals, create strategies, and think about what they want, but they never take real steps forward. Planning is important, but execution is everything. Stop overthinking. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Take bold action today. Even small steps can create momentum that leads to massive change. Your future is not something that just happens, it is something you create. If you continue living on autopilot, years will pass and nothing will change. But if you decide right now to take control, everything can be different. Choose to live intentionally. Choose to build a future that excites you. Choose to take control of your life before time runs out.